Hosted in conjunction with Chris Media, the CEO interview series allows investors to hear directly from the CEOs leading the companies featured on Wholesale Investor. Enjoy the interview and reach out via the details in the description.
Hi and welcome to another Crisp TV Q&A. Today I'm with the CEO and co-founder of Primal Organix, Mark Garbelotto. Thank you for joining me, Mark.
Thanks for having me.
Mark, just to get us started today and set us on the right course, can you give us an overview of Primal Organix?
Yeah, Primal Organix has a range of full therapeutic products that is really a disruptor in the medicinal cannabis space and a alternative to pharmaceutical products in the vicinity of anxiety, social anxiety, anxiety attack, pain, inflammation, PMS, breathing after COVID. So we have a full range of all organic, natural products in the market.
Amazing. And Mark, just before we go into that a bit deeper, can you tell us the motivation or the moment that spurred this venture into creation? What motivated you? What did you identify in the market as a distinct need when creating this product?
Yeah, that's a really great question. Well, it's really interesting because my business partner and co-founder, Mr. Frank Gimperi, who actually manufactures all these amazing products, it was actually his wife that actually prompted us going into business, because Frank was an absolute genius at creating products and was very well established in Western Australia. And I was running a registered training organisation with the Australian government in certifications in terms of Severe 4 programs and frontline management business sales. And what really needed to happen with my business partner, Frank, because he had all these great products, he really needed to get some exposure to that market. And I had that background of that corporate market and really running training workshops and seminars. And it was really his wife, Beverly Gimperi, that actually put us together and said, you know, with what Frank does and what Mark does, it's two great skill sets. And at the end of the day, if we can get Frank's products out to the market through Mark's voice, we can have a really great company that can provide people natural products and help people overcome their different challenges around illness.
It sounds like an extremely noble cause and a viable solution, effective solution. Mark, can you tell us how the market has responded? What sort of traction have you seen, and what has been the feedback of the consumers today?
It's been a really interesting kind of 4-year journey. Obviously, we've had COVID lockdown. I'm based in Victoria and run the business from Victoria, and my business partner Frank, he resides in Western Australia, and we have a manufacturing facility there. Interesting enough, I'll be heading over to Western Australia next week, and I haven't been there for 2.5 years to sit in my own office because of COVID lockdown. And as you know, Victoria was locked down for over 270 days through COVID. So the journey has been very interesting, because when we first launched into the market, we did a lot of trade shows, and the products just went berserk in the trade show, especially through the hemp trade shows, where they're looking for medicinal cannabis or CBD or THC, and then they're looking for an alternative to that. So it really exploded, and then we hit into the retail health food stores and some pharmaceutical outlets, the independents, and then COVID hit. So it became really hard to get out there. And now coming out of COVID, we've really exploded the market. So, we're now literally in the next week, we'll hit about 100 retail outlets direct to market, and that's growing exponentially week on, week out. And we're seeing now that not only the health food stores and the naturopaths and people looking for alternative medicine, we're now looking at the pharmacists who are getting asked for products that are not pharmaceutical products, but also products that are non-medicinal cannabis, or CBD as we like to call it, because there's a very big market for medicinal cannabis, but there's even a bigger market for non-medicinal cannabis products. And we're really right in between that market. And, we are just growing so quickly, and, people are now getting so educated around our product. And the great thing is our product's completely legal, sublingual product, put it under your tongue for 30 seconds. Manage, if you've got the anxiety product, it'll manage your anxiety in less than 30 seconds. So it's just absolutely going fantastic, and it's well received. But in saying that, it's been a long journey because we've had to educate the market into something really brand new.
It's an amazing story and clearly very positive feedback to date, given the growth, not only from inception, but in terms of what you're anticipating. So congratulations on that to date. Obviously, an indicator of commercial viability when it comes to a venture is previous rounds of investment or funds raised. Can you tell us about previous rounds and the success you had?
So we have many investors. We have a unit trust set up for smaller investors that want to, trade their shares. And then we have, obviously, for large investors, they can come and sit directly on the board and buy part of the business. To date, we've just raised over about $700,000, and we're still growing exponentially. That's been, a capital raise over the last 2 or 3 years, and it's had its moments, especially with COVID. Like when we did the Wholesale Invest platform before it went live in Sydney earlier this year. It was online, so you can't meet and touch the product, feel the product, take the product, meet the people. It's very difficult to do it online. But as soon as that opened up, we found that we were able to raise capital, and we really found that in that health sector that the investors are generally the ones that want to be in the health sector. They are already potentially in medicinal cannabis or in the hemp, hemp investment area, and they are looking for an alternative. And they're the ones that are going, wow, with what Primal Organix is doing, they can really see that this can be the next global product for both anxiety, pain, inflammation, PMS, breathing. We have a full range of products. And they can see that. And the great thing, unlike medicinal cannabis, it's completely legal. You don't need a script. If you're working in the mines, or you've got to go to work and get a drug test, or you're driving through a breathalyzer or a drug test, you're not going to show up with a reading with medicinal cannabis or CBD in your product. So our investors are really excited. And the other thing is that we're growing Australia, and we're very committed to really showing our investors that we are really going to show that we can make great profits in Australia before we open up international markets.
Amazing, and congratulations again on the attraction of investment so far. It's going to be a great telltale sign, an indicator of future success. Now, that brings us to a final sort of parting question. If someone wants to reach out, you've detailed the type of investors that have been interested and their keen interests and how they're aligned with what you're doing and what they're understanding as the core value proposition of Primal Organix. And we will have your details on the side of this screen for anybody interested in reaching out to Mark or a representative from the firm. The deal room link as well as the contact details will be there. And Mark, of course, you'd be happy to speak to these people as well as prospective investors, correct?
Yeah, and more so than that, we actually want you to speak to our other investors. We want you to see that our share price over the last 3 or 4 years has gone up every year, and some of the investors that were in from day one have actually doubled and tripled their money, which is absolutely awesome. And they can see the capital growth in terms of the company and where we're going. So please reach out to me. Happy to take a call. Happy for you to try our products. Happy for you to meet our current investors. Absolutely. If you're somebody that's looking to be in that health space between the medicinal cannabis and the pharmaceutical products, and be with an innovative company that not only manufactures the product, but we do research and development. And year on, year out, we've received money from the Australian government, Oz Industries and the ATO in regards to our research and development. So all of our products go through a high level research and development before they hit the markets. And now we're even moving into clinical trials for some of those products. So please, if you're an investor and you're wanting to be in that health space, please reach out. Let's have a conversation and see if we can help you out.
Amazing. Well, thank you very much, Mark. It's been a pleasure speaking to you and hearing about the venture's success to date and what we're anticipating into the near term. We will speak soon. Thank you again.
Awesome. Thanks for your time. Thanks for having me.